struggles every day. Makes me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? Need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab.
Are you ready? You ready for your dose? Your dose of radio rehab?
I'm ready.
Well, I hope so. Hey, folks, welcome. Welcome into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, and another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillan. She is psychotherapist, PLPC Lauren Leon McMillan. Quit turning those calendar pages. You just keep on going, don't you?
Such is life. That's what happens.
You have turned, there's no more
flipped
pages.
to the final page of the calendar, my friend. Yep.
So I guess the natural thing then is since we're here
At the very end.
and at the cusp of a new beginning, it's kind of natural to look back
The
on
only
this
way
year.
we can look is back.
And
From one perspective.
well, no, we can look forward too.
Right.
I mean, we can imagine the new year ahead. So why don't we explore that a bit today?
Absolutely.
How can we reflect? How can we use reflection to close out the year with intention and step into the new year with purpose? Intention and purpose. I like that.
Those are good. Those are good intentions.
Yeah. Why does reflection matter? Why does reflection matter?
Well, because it's part of what makes us better, what makes us grow. We can't change what we aren't aware of, right?
Yeah. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. You can't change what you don't know.
Not only that, but I believe it's a great truth that we are all great reflections of each other. And so by tuning into that, can we come to a greater understanding of ourselves?
Okay. And no better time to do that than as we flip the calendar here to the first part of December.
Absolutely. I believe it's seasonal too. I mean, as the days get darker, we're drawn more inward.
Yep.
And it's just a natural process.
Less light outside, inviting us to
Come in.
find that light inside.
That's right.
Folks, thank you for tuning in to Strategies for Living. We appreciate you being here with us. And we appreciate our sponsors making it all possible. The Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Pintail Roofing and Learning RX and the Balanced Life Wellness Center and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage. Back in a moment, closing out the year with an intention and the power of reflection. Today, here on Strategies. Come back with us.
Tune in for a dose of good cheer. Lauren and David are here. Strategies for living is the show. Healthy mind and spirit we know. Jingle bells ring bright, guiding you through the night. With wisdom and delight, tune in and feel the light. Radio rehab with a smile. Your troubles fade for a while. Body and mind in harmony. Lauren and David help you see. Jingle bells ring bright, guiding you through the night with wisdom and delight. Tune in and feel the light.
Some little elf that will remain nameless has been busy. Yes, she has. Am I giving it away?
Have you enjoyed the new Christmas album dropping soon?
You never know. You just never know. Welcome, folks. Welcome into 1017 FM 710 Keel, and welcome into another edition of
We needed
Strategies
some
for
seasonal
Living.
Jingles.
Well, yeah, you just don't let any grass grow under your feet, do you? That's my reflection.
Yeah, is
I'm
that
done
yours?
for the day now. We're gonna, I don't know. It seems like the older I get, the faster time seems to go. I don't know if it's I guess maybe Einstein had it. I'm sure Einstein had it right.
is.
It's a relative thing.
Yeah, it's relative, and the universe is constantly growing, right?
Yeah.
And if you've taken me on this tangent, right? But if we think about it, right?
That's dangerous.
what is frequency, right? But the amount of things that happens per unit time, right?
Yeah.
And I think as we grow older, more things happen in a certain given period of time, which could make it feel faster,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just one theory
Yeah.
that I have, anyway.
There you go. So, good time to close the year with intention and talk about reflecting and talk about the power of reflection. And, reflection helps us to pinpoint, to identify where have we grown. It also, I think, helps us to recognize patterns. And let's not forget to certainly celebrate any progress that we've made, right?
Yeah, I think this is one of the great opportunities we have with these milestone marker holidays, right?
Yeah.
Is an ability to really mark time to be able to say, wow, okay, well, how much have I grown? What have I done in the past year since last, Thanksgiving, since the last holiday season?
It's an important tool for self-awareness, and it offers clarity to us on what matters most in our lives. And I think for a lot of people, that's what the holidays really are about. Is marking time and also celebrating that season of love, if you will. And, by doing proper reflection, we can kind of close this chapter, hopefully with gratitude.
Absolutely.
That's
no matter what's happened.
That's what we've just celebrated, and then set a foundation for new beginnings. So, when we talk about reflecting, what are some big questions that we can start with? What are some big questions that we can ask ourselves?
Yeah. Something like, what am I proudest of that I've accomplished over the year? What am I most proud that I've overcome this past year?
I don't like to do the win-lose thing, but a lot of people talk, in terms of win-lose. And so, okay, well, where do you consider your biggest win this year?
Yeah.
Where have you
progress.
won?
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm a little uncomfortable with the win-lose, but I know a lot, and especially during this time of year, as the college football season winds down, pro football is beginning to wind down. We're focused on that win-lose column,
Right.
And so what have been the biggest wins for this year, and what challenges were overcome this year?
And what did they teach you? What lessons
Oh yeah,
were you able to garner from those?
And that maybe, Lauren, is the most important. What lessons did I learn?
Yeah.
And that's
one of my favorite reflection/journal prompts to start off from. What were my lessons for the year?
Yeah.
Looking back,
Yeah.
It may not have been clear at all in
Right.
the moment in each month as it was happening.
Right.
But looking back in hindsight, what were those lessons? What were the lessons from 2024 that I
Right.
can take forward?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, are you leaving any goals that you may have set this time last year or at the beginning of the year? Is there any unfinished business there?
Or
And-
how far have you come on those goals, first
Yeah.
of all?
Oh, yeah.
And then how far do you have to go?
Yeah. And wherever you are, you know, that's fine.
Right.
You know, acknowledge that and say, okay, here we go. And is there any place in that you feel stuck? And if you do,
What's keeping you there?
yeah, what's
What limiting beliefs are you holding that's keeping you from moving forward on what you say you want,
yeah, yeah.
truly?
And if you could repeat, you know, if you could have a do-over, you know, what would you do different? If you could repeat the year, what would you do differently? I think we can learn a great deal by asking ourselves that question. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, gratitude. Let's be grateful because there's a real power there. And even the small things. I mean, again, I was talking about the wins and losses a moment ago, but if you're looking at this, if you're looking at life, as a growth experience,
Which it is.
a school, if
Right.
you will, then even the small things, especially the small things, maybe we should celebrate, be grateful for. So we kind of talked a lot about this around Thanksgiving, but as we wrap up 2024, we've got a month now. So what's your gratitude list for this year? What are the people that you're most grateful for? The experiences this year you're most grateful for, and the lessons that you're grateful for. And again, I would encourage us to move out of the idea of winners and losers, wins and losses, if you will, in our life.
Well, because it's so arbitrary. I mean, and it's very personal. I think it might be better to move towards this idea of, at the very least, what do I prefer versus what I don't prefer, right?
Yeah.
Because each one of us has something unique and a unique purpose here, and that brings with it different preferences for how we live our life.
And I think the longer you live, anyone who's lived a bit of life, I think can relate. I know I certainly can. Some of the things that in the moment that they might have been happening that I considered, oh gosh, this is awful. This is horrible.
This is a loss.
This
quote
is a
unquote.
loss,
Yeah.
quote unquote. Some of those things turn out in the bigger scheme of things, in the bigger picture, those turn out to be some of the biggest, quote unquote, wins.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would challenge you, I would say all of them, right? Because I think there's something going on from a much greater level than our human understands.
Right.
And so that's the great power of the shift to gratitude, is being able to recognize in each moment, okay, my human has no idea what this means for me or why I'm experiencing this, but I know that I can trust that on some higher level, this is a gift for my growing, no matter what.
This is going to end up, Ben Franklin said it. Those
Yeah.
things that don't kill us make us stronger.
That's right.
And it would serve me to remember that. But, at this time of year also, we want to release. We want to release the things that don't serve us any longer. As we look back toward the past, and that might be the past, 11 months, year or so, or even before that. What do we need to let go of? This could be beliefs. You were mentioning beliefs a moment ago. It could be habits.
Right.
Could even be relationships
Right.
that feel completely out of alignment.
And this can be a lot harder than we give credit to, I think, most of the time, right? Letting go can be some of the hardest things that we have to do.
Well, yeah, because
As humans.
when you start talking about letting go,
You have to grieve.
You have to grieve.
have to.
And it's important to forgive because that process of grieving and forgiving
Well-
is a process where we move forward,
And
where
that's-
we can get unencumbered.
Right. I mean, that's
and
why
move
we've
forward.
included that as part of our acronym, GRIEF, right?
Right.
Growth rooted in eternal forgiveness.
There you go.
I mean, forgiveness is an integral part of the grief process.
Yeah, and it just makes sense. We want to free up emotional energy for the future, and especially for the rest of, as we move through the rest of this month and on into a new year. So, what do you want to release? Having symbols is
Or a ritual.
important. Yeah, a ritual and symbols. What do you want to release? Maybe write that down, and maybe
Burn it.
maybe burn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe do
Let
a
it go into the air.
ceremonial burning and letting go.
And as it comes up throughout the year, remind yourself, I'm releasing this.
Yeah, there you go. We are closing the year with intention, and we're talking about the power of reflection. All of that we're considering today here on Strategies for Living. Glad you're with us. We've got more to come, so stay around. Be right back here on Strategies. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center. I say it a lot. There's no place like the Robinson.
Absolutely, there is not.
617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. You've got so much. You got the movies. You got Abby Singer's Bistro on the second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday.
Newly remodeled.
Absolutely great menu. RobinsonFilmCenter.org is the way you check it all out. You can go to RobinsonFilmCenter.org at any time and find out what movies are showing. Here's the deal. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. When you become a member, you become a star. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. I'll say it again. There's no place like the Robinson.
There is not, and I'm glad we have one right here.
Absolutely. The RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with LearningRx Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, LearningRx Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call LearningRx Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does LearningRx Shreveport.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for a Living here on 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Lauren Leon McMillan getting a little bit festive on us. David McMillan, and we're talking about closing this year with intention and talking about the power of reflection here on Strategies this evening. And when you look back and you do this reflection thing, and particularly the things that we need to release, we were talking at the end of last segment about letting go, and you mentioned grieving and forgiveness, and
Right.
we only had a couple of minutes left when we got into that. My sense is there's a lot more to that, and that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I think releasing is an essential part of our growing process, right? I mean, we can't add or bring new things into our life until we release the old and let go of those old patternings.
We're finite. We're finite beings in a physical sense. So our mind, we may be infinite as spiritual beings, but in this physical body, we're manifested here, living on the earth. We have a certain capacity.
Right. I like to say we're infinite in finite.
Infinite,
Yeah.
okay. But with that capacity, that's part of the challenge, isn't it? To manage what we have to manage.
It's a game.
Physically, mentally, emotionally. So
It's a game of energy management. Essentially.
there's only
right?
so much capacity. If I give you a 10-ounce cup and I hand you this 10-ounce cup and there's already 8.5 ounces in it, you're limited as to what can what you can put in it. And that's as I say that analogy, I'm thinking about how many of us, as we grow up and move through our families, in a sense we're given a cup,
We're
right?
given a pretty full
And we're
cup.
given usually a pretty full cup.
Right.
I don't know if it's 8.5 ounces of a 10-ounce cup, but it's pretty full. And so part of the process, and it may take us a few years to recognize our need to do this, if you will, if we ever do recognize our need to do this, is to take what's in that cup,
Dump it out.
and we don't have to dump it out / let it go completely.
No, but when I say dump it out, I mean dump it out to look at
so
it.
you can look at it, so
see
that
what's in there.
if you want to put some of it back in, now it's yours. It doesn't come from somebody else.
Right.
The work is that you have to wrestle with it, and make it your own.
Yeah, and the fact is we really can't. I mean, I guess we could, but life isn't clean cut enough for us to have that time and opportunity most often for all of us to, okay, well, let me do a huge inventory of all my beliefs, right?
Right.
More often than not, we're faced with
It would be so good if we could do that.
That would be really nice.
And it would be so good if we could do that at this point in the year, every year,
It is, let me say that this season actually really offers an opportune time to do that.
Well, think about,
because
this is a season that is wrapped up in belief, right?
That's right. That's very true.
And so because it's a season that is about belief,
going into the dark, nonetheless, by
Yeah.
the way, right?
Yeah.
We're entering darkness,
Yeah.
which is, again, kind of like you mentioned at the beginning, a time where we can go in to find our own inner light.
Right.
To look around and see, okay, what's in this darkness? But the idea of darkness also represents, in a way, a stillness, a quietness, and a clean space.
Yeah.
And I might ask myself, how am I at sitting in the stillness, in the clean space? And do I have to have all of these other
Do I have to have all this noise all
going
around
on
me?
all the time?
Yeah. Some of us are not comfortable unless there's perpetual noise, going on. This, one of my very favorite times is getting up in the morning. And I love to get up, and generally it's just pocket and I and a cup of coffee. And after reading the newspaper, it's a time for quiet reflection.
Right.
I know you do the same thing. That's one of the things that you do with your journaling.
Right.
And each morning I bring you a cup of coffee or matcha.
Yeah.
And close the door, and you may share that with me later on in the day.
Yeah.
But that's a very special time.
It is.
It's a very, very special time to.
It's a time for me, truly, kind of like we were talking about with the darkness. It's to commune, and I don't mean darkness in terms of evil or, Satan or whatever. I mean darkness in terms of there's
more of unknown.
Blank slate, and the nothingness that sponsors everything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we came, even as physical beings, we came out of a dark womb, right?
Correct. We came out into the light. And so, we're talking today about closing the year with intention and the power of reflection, as the new year is just days ahead of us now.
And so this is a great time of sponsoring releasing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what is nature doing right now?
It's releasing. Yeah.
They're going in, they're dying. The old
Leaves are falling. Yeah.
Can I say old bee leaves?
Bee leaves. Oh, I like
the
that.
trees are
Yeah.
dropping their beliefs
Their
that
bee
no
leaves.
longer serve them. And so must we.
Well, we would be, most of us probably don't do that, Lauren, but that would be a wonderful lesson
That's
that we
what
could
nature is offering
take
us
from nature. Yeah.
Right now.
Is to shed the bee leaves.
And then
that
and
no
then to
longer
stare,
serve us.
and then to be able to stand bare knowing you're rooted
Yeah.
in something greater.
And
just like the trees.
springtime will come.
It will come again. And so it's time to shake off the old and bear yourself, witness, and just trust that new growth is on the way. But in the meantime,
We can expect some dark nights,
Right.
maybe some cold nights.
absolutely.
Hopefully you have others to surround yourself with and a few
that's-
warm blankets to keep
That's
you warm.
another interesting lesson from the season, right? Is
Yeah.
that to be cold is often uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? And so it's offering maybe another lesson of how can you sit with your discomfort? Because it's a part of you and it's a part of life's
It's a
experience.
part of humanness, isn't it? And
Yeah.
so many of us don't want to be, we want our comforts and we demand our comforts. And when we don't have them, we stomp and yell and scream, don't
right,
we?
Right.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's something that you're releasing. Your need for constant comfort could be something you
Yeah.
want to release.
Yeah. So after we've released what we need to release, and again, don't forget the power of forgiveness, the power of grieving. Let yourself do that. But as the new year looms, we want to set intentions
Yes.
for this new year. And not perfection, intention, not perfection. Sometimes I think people, as they set New Year's resolutions, I think we might, I've got to do this. I got to do this right this year. I got to do this. And what we're really telling ourselves, I got to be perfect this year. And I say balderdash for all of us because there's no such thing as perfect.
Absolutely not.
Not in this human existence.
If you are of the type that you want to have a specific, goal, I would of course recommend a SMART goal, right?
Yep.
The specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time
Yep.
bound. And you can find so many things of that online, and we've talked about that before.
Right.
But another practice to get you going in the direction of your intention for the next year.
Well, let me ask you. I don't want to stop you in
Yeah.
that thought, but I think it's important because goals and intentions.
Yes, exactly.
So, what is the difference between those two?
That is a good
Because
question. And we often,
they relate to each
they
other,
do,
but I don't think
not
they're the same.
Not
Yeah.
at all. No, I think intention is what I was about to kind of lean in towards.
Okay.
Which was to be able to sit with yourself, get yourself in a nice quiet place and connect. Think of something that makes you happy, makes you smile, just to get you into that space, that heart-centered space.
Right.
And ask yourself, what am I ready to receive next?
Okay.
Okay? Or what is it that I want to move towards? What am I ready to build in the next year?
Right.
And just whatever bubbles up first, okay? That's an intention. It doesn't have to be specific. It could just be love.
Right.
Or
it could be
joy,
it could be
or play.
Hey, I've been listening to Strategies for Living and they talk a lot about self-care. So that's an intention for me for this next year, is I'm going to prioritize self-care. Now, the goals, the specific New Year's resolutions,
Yeah, that
if
could-
you will,
that could come
that can be
under the rug.
specific goals that you think will meet that intention of self-care. So
Right.
there's the difference between intentions are broad, the specific resolution or goals are more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe right now is more the time of just getting familiar with the intention. Don't worry yourself so much with the specific goals yet
Right.
until maybe closer to the new year.
Yeah.
Right-
or
right
even
now-
into the new year a little
Right,
bit.
let it
Yeah.
unfold naturally, but it has to start with a true, honest soul intention.
Yeah, I
something that
wonder
you're
if that's
yearning
why
for.
we have such a hard time
Absolutely.
keeping New Year's resolutions, because
We're
we
not
go
list-
right to the resolution and we don't
We skip
consider, the foundation.
And we don't consult who it is that's doing it, which is your body, your mind, and your soul, right?
There you go. There you go. We're talking about closing the year with intention today and the power of reflection. That's what we're focusing on. We're getting our mirrors clean here on Strategies. Hand me that Windex over there, would you? Yeah. And we've got more. We've got more to come. Stay right where you are. More Strategies for Living coming back.
From the bayou to your table, we're keeping it alive with flavors from the family, passed down to survive. The Godfather's here with a twist in the tail. Alligator Italian sausage, and it sure won't fail. It's the boss of the bayou, a taste you can't refuse. Italian tradition, Cajun infused. Godfather sausage, bold and true. The Padres bringing the bayou to you.
Get the Godfather Alligator Italian Sausage only at Fertitta's Delicatessen, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Pick up a muffy while you're there. The Godfather Alligator Italian Sausage. It's a taste you can't refuse. Sold only at Fertitta's, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Dealing with stress, pain, feel like you're running out of options? When your life is balanced, wellness is a given. True wellness is holistic. It's about the mind, the body, and the spirit, all in balance. Now, there's a place right here in Shreveport that's all about helping us achieve peak mental, emotional, and physical health. The Balanced Life, 117 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. Come see and feel the difference getting your life in balance can be. Many of your friends and neighbors have already learned the difference less stress and pain mean in their lives. You can book a discovery session right now online, thebalancedlife.us. All you've got to lose is stress, pain, or maybe both. Come see and feel for yourself the real difference balanced wellness makes. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, 117 Kings Highway in Shreveport, next door to Strawn's, thebalancedlife.us.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
Who let those carolers in here? Welcome
It's
back.
time.
It's time. Welcome back into Strategies for Living and here on 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Lauren, Leon McMillan, David McMillan. We are closing this year with intention and also focusing on the power of reflection as we look at shutting down, closing up one year, opening up the next. And as I say that, I got a chuckle because we make it all up.
Absolutely.
You know,
we do, don't we?
the calendar, all of this is a
And you've got to
human
s-
thing.
you've-
Time and the calendar and all of it is a human invention.
And you've got to scratch your head, right? Because the month we're in right now, we just started, is December, right?
Yep.
And DEC is 10.
Yep.
So you have to scratch your head and wonder if at some point this was the 10th month of the year
Yeah,
instead of the
yeah.
12th.
I
mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
But the interesting thing is, no matter what we call it, seasons, the seasons are the same.
yeah.
And we truly do. We know that there is some evidence to cycles and seasonality of life.
Yeah.
You know, even if time itself is truly not in existence, there's something about seasonality and the cycle of going in and out.
Well, sure.
And in and out. I
Right.
mean, even in the very breath.
We've observed that, we repeat that, and that's how we ended up making a calendar,
Right.
making a clock,
To formalize
see,
and to-
see that cycle and recognize that cycle.
Right.
And, but my point is that, we buy into it. That's a belief.
Right.
That it's there. Okay.
And how are you using that
how
tool?
do you use that?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
is it serving you? How
Yeah.
is it serving you?
So let's talk about some strategies for this reflection and intention setting.
Okay.
You love journaling.
Yes.
And we encourage people. We talk often about the power of journaling. And this, you can do this very formally. You can also do this informally. You like to actually write in. You keep a fresh journal.
Yeah, a physical written
journal, and
Yeah.
you do that every day, and it's been enormously helpful.
It has. And, interestingly enough, that's kind of been part of my New Year's resolution, which has been maintained.
Yeah.
And I've kept it up.
Yeah, you have. So, some journaling prompts that we might think about for
yes.
this month. What might some of them be that would be helpful? Again, however you want to journal, and it can be. I do encourage you to write. I mean, if you
or type. I mean,
yeah,
if
you can
wanna
type. But I love pen to paper.
I do have a preference for pen to paper myself, but I know, whatever, if it's going to keep you from reflecting, type.
Yeah.
Type it on your phone,
do
type
it,
it
yeah.
on just do it. Do it some way, shape, or form.
There you go.
Make an audio note of it to yourself.
So what about some prompts? What are some prompts we could use?
So something like, what did I learn about myself?
Oh, that's a good
this
one.
year?
Yeah. Because that's the deal. This life is a big school.
And and you are the greatest. You are the material.
Yeah.
We learn through ourselves, and so it's most important that we know ourselves.
Yeah, it's a big school and it's a hard school, So there's opportunities. There's lots of opportunities to learn. So what did I learn this year? What did I learn about myself? What did I learn about life this year? I think those could be incredibly important prompts to write about.
How has my perspective changed over the last year?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What might I want to carry forward, particularly into next year? What did I maybe begin this year, start this year, work on this year that I'd like to carry on into this next year?
Okay.
And
on the flip side, what do I need? What do I want to release?
Yeah.
moving into
Is
the next year?
there any?
What do I need to let go of?
Yeah. Person, place, thing, something inside
Idea.
of me, idea, belief.
Mm-hmm.
This could be open. We need to open our minds here and just let ourselves dream about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the reflection and the looking forward. Could be, I know I'm getting off journaling for just a moment, but to imagine the you'd like to see in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, right?
Yeah.
Really get into that visualization of where you'd like to be and what you'd like to be feeling most specifically,
Yeah.
right? And then ask yourself, what's keeping me from that right now?
Yeah.
And how can I bring more of that into the now?
There
So
you
there's
go.
your journal prompt.
Yeah.
After you've done the visualization of the future you, right, is to come back and say, what's keeping me back? What do I need to release to get there? And what actionable steps do I need to take to get there?
Yeah. This next prompt may be a little challenging, but I think it's worth it. If you had to pick one word or one theme, that you want to guide you in 2025, what would that be? What would that one word be, or what would that one theme or phrase be?
I love that. And I would like that one to be very intuitive, if you can allow it to be. Just whatever comes to your mind first. Play with that.
Yeah.
If it was love, if it was joy, if it was friendship, hold on to that and ask yourself, how can I cultivate more of that in my life?
I'm just thinking of, we're encouraging people to start a journaling process.
Yeah.
One very simple, easy way to begin, and it could be right now. In fact, this would be a great time to start a gratitude journal.
Absolutely.
And so that can be very simple. Could be at the beginning or the end of each day. What am I grateful for? What happened to me today that I'm grateful for?
Right.
What am I grateful for as I begin the day? And that could be just a few sentences, but it gets you in the habit.
That can be a powerful ending and beginning practice of each day.
Yeah.
And also along the lines of gratitude and in conjunction with reflection. Look back at yourself a year ago, from today or over this past year.
Right.
And visualize that person. And I want you to practice gratitude for that person because he or she got you here.
Absolutely.
Today.
Absolutely. Talking about closing out the year with intention and the power of reflection, talking about all of that today here on Strategies for Living. And we will come back, wrap up our conversation. Hope we've given you some things to stretch and think about in terms of reflection and intention today on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back. You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
Tuning out, let's take a ride. Healthy mind and heart open wide. strategies for brighter days.
And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM 710 Keel and Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, talking about closing this year with intention and the power of reflection. What's your takeaway from today, Lauren?
There is no better time of year, although I think it's important to do at varying points throughout the year. But this is kind of a natural calling to us at this time to reflect, to go inward. And it's a powerful process if we can really harness that at this time that nature is supporting us in that.
Yes.
In reflecting and especially in releasing and letting go and then setting intention moving forward.
There you go. So we have some work to do this month, but also enjoy.
Absolutely.
You know.
Enjoy the reflection. Look back on all that this year has helped shape you into and practice gratitude.
No matter what's happened, it's growing you.
Yes.
Or has the potential to. Again, you may have to eliminate some beliefs there.
Gifts
let
for
go
our
of some
growing.
things. There you go. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you. We appreciate you being with us here on Strategies for Living. We do this for you each and every day, and we can do it because of our wonderful sponsors, the Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, the home of The Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.